From the Digital Media Center, on the campus of Southern Oregon University in Ashland, Oregon. This is Ramping Up Your English, an educational program for intermediate level English language learners. Here's your host for Ramping Up Your English, John Letts.
Welcome to Ramping Up Your English, winner of the Southern Oregon Television Award for Program of the Year and the award for Best Educational Program. I'm the host and producer, John Letts. Ramping Up Your English is an educational support program for intermediate English learners. It's a program for people from all language backgrounds. Ramping Up Your English is also for people of all ages. If you've already passed the beginning stages of learning English, and you want to reach higher levels of proficiency, this program is designed to meet your needs. We take a content-based approach to helping you reach higher levels of English proficiency. Our current thematic unit is animals.
This is segment 1 of episode 59. In recent episodes, we visited North America, South America, and Africa to see and learn about some awesome animals. The thing is, those were all mammals. You may remember that mammals have backbones. They're warm-blooded. They give live birth to their young. They get oxygen from the air using lungs. They have fur, and they give milk to their young. But mammals are only one kind of animal. Let's see if you can guess what order of animals we're featuring today. These animals have backbones, and they get their oxygen from the air using lungs. So far, that's a lot in common with mammals. But wait, these animals are cold-blooded. They lay eggs to reproduce. They have scales instead of fur. Not only that, they do not give milk to their young. If you guessed reptiles, you're right. Today we're looking at reptiles. If you chose a reptile as the animal you're researching, you'll want to pay close attention to this episode. There's nothing warm or fuzzy about reptiles, but there are some mighty interesting reptiles on this earth, so you might consider choosing one for your report if you haven't already chosen. One example is an alligator, as seen here. Reptiles seem odd to us because they're covered with scales and they're cold-blooded, relying on the warmth from their environment to become active. This makes their movements seem odd. Let's learn a few things about alligators and other reptiles from this video. The sight of a snake can terrify some people. The beady eyes and flicking tongue send some people into a panic. Is this colorful serpent a cold-blooded killer? Yes, it's cold-blooded, as are all reptiles, and yes, it kills insects, its main diet. In contrast to the colorful garter snake, this snake can grow to be the largest in the world. Meet the anaconda, a constrictor that can kill and eat a hog. I saw a nature show where an anaconda started to wrap itself around the host and put him in danger. This anaconda lives at the Oakland Zoo in California. Watch the glass for the excited child looking in. Snakes can fascinate as well as scare. Some think that snakes are slimy, but they're not. Snakes are covered with scales, as all reptiles are. The scales provide protection, but snakes have other ways of protecting themselves. A snake's strike is remarkably quick. Let's see that strike again in slow motion. That strike could result in a nasty bite wound, but garter snakes are not poisonous. That can't be said for the rattlesnake. A bite by this snake could be deadly if not followed up by medical help. A rattlesnake's tail vibrates when it's about to strike, giving a warning. Rattlesnakes are very important to keeping their ecosystem in balance, and they're more likely to flee from people than strike if given an escape route. This snake is of no concern to you unless you're a small rodent. This is a gopher snake. People like me see beauty in snakes, plus we recognize that some snakes do us a great service. A more likable reptile is the turtle. This turtle is swimming in a drainage ditch in Louisiana, home to many reptiles. This turtle lives in another part of the world. Turtles have a hard shell for protection. This shell is a form of scales. It's part of a turtle's body. Despite the belief by some children, a turtle cannot crawl out of its shell any more than you could crawl out of your skin. Another animal with a shell is a tortoise, often confused with the turtle. Tortoises have been known to live more than 100 years old. One way to tell them apart is to look at their feet. A tortoise has feet made for digging, while a turtle has feet designed for swimming. Like all reptiles, tortoises and turtles depend on their environment for controlling their body temperature. They often sit in the sun to warm themselves. They'll seek shade or water to cool off. Another cold-blooded reptile is the alligator. Alligators spend most of their time in the tepid waters of Louisiana and Florida. Alligators eat mostly turtles and other water-dwelling animals, but they're not picky eaters, and people can be in considerable danger if they're swimming in waters occupied by alligators. Dogs and cats can be endangered by alligators as well. Alligators are more likely to avoid people than to attack them, but gators that have been used to being fed, or if they're nesting and protecting their eggs, can become aggressive. It's safest to leave them alone. Alligators once received protection under the Endangered Species Act. They were being overhunted for their hides. Their population made a quick recovery, and they now can be hunted again. In the Florida Everglades, alligators somehow coexist with crocodiles. In Louisiana, alligators are alone. Crocodiles don't inhabit Louisiana. Only alligators. Viewed from above, an alligator's mouth appears wide and flat. You don't see teeth pointed up outside of the mouth on an alligator. Crocodiles are similar in appearance, but their mouth is more narrow.
Don't worry, I'm not as close as this looks.
This very old crocodile lives in Villahermosa, Mexico. These crocodiles are mating.
You're watching Ramping Up Your English. This is segment 2.
And this is episode 59, Reptiles. The reptile swimming by is an alligator. American alligators are found in Louisiana and in Florida, where crocodiles also live. These two reptiles have much in common, but alligators and crocodiles are two distinct species. Take a good look at this alligator. It's hard to tell them apart, but this book can help. It's Alligators and Crocodiles, part of the I Can Read About series from Scholastic Books. We'll use this as our source in comparing and contrasting alligators and crocodiles. We start by finding how alligators and crocodiles are alike. They both have powerful jaws filled with sharp teeth. They are both reptiles with tough hides, and they're both good swimmers. These are the notes we write down after finding the information in the book. A look at our notes show that they have powerful jaws filled with sharp teeth. They're both reptiles. They have tough hides made of bony plates, and both alligators and crocodiles are good swimmers. Now we find how these similar animals are different. We start with the snouts of the adults. An alligator's snout is broad, a bit rounded at the end. A crocodile's snout is narrow and pointed. Another difference are the teeth that are visible when their jaws are closed. Only the alligator's top teeth are visible. Both top and bottom teeth can be seen on the crocodile. So again, we record this information in our notes. Then we read more to find ways that alligators and crocodiles are different. Alligators inhabit a smaller range, while crocodiles are more widely distributed. And alligators live up to 60 years. Crocodiles, it's more like 20 to 30 years. Using this Venn diagram, we can organize this information for comparing and contrasting. The green section in the middle is for the ways alligators and crocodiles are alike. We'll use this when comparing them. The information in the yellow is only true for alligators. In the blue section are facts about crocodiles only. We'll use the yellow and blue sections to contrast these very similar animals. We normally compare before we contrast. I put in an introductory sentence first, then I follow it with a statement of how they're alike. Notice that some words are in larger print than others. These are the connecting words we use to put the facts together. We use the words each of them to avoid overusing the word both. Notice the connecting words in the first sentence, one trait they have in common. In the second sentence, we use that vital comparing word, both. The first sentence, one trait they have in common, is a large snout full of sharp teeth. The second sentence, they are both good swimmers. Now we contrast the two. Alligators and crocodiles are dissimilar in the size and shape of their snouts. Adult alligators have a broad, rounded tip, whereas crocodiles have narrow, pointed snouts. Here are two other contrasting sentences. You can see teeth protruding from the closed jaws of both animals. However, only the upper teeth are visible on an alligator. Another distinction is the distribution. Whereas crocodiles are widely distributed, the range of alligators is comparatively small. Another notable difference is their lifespans. While alligators have been known to live as long as 60 years, crocodiles are believed to live only 20 to 30 years. Let's look at the connecting words we use to compare alligators and crocodiles. So similar that one is often mistaken for the other. Each of them, one trait they have in common, and the word both. Here are connecting words we use to contrast alligators and crocodiles. Are dissimilar. That's a new one. I hadn't used that one in previous episodes. Whereas, however. Another notable difference is in, and another distinction is. These are words you can use to connect information when comparing and contrasting the subject of your research with a similar animal. Again, our source was the book Alligators and Crocodiles from the I Can Read About series from Scholastic Books. If you want a more direct experience with alligators, you can always visit Jennings, Louisiana. While the French word cocodries is similar to crocodiles, you'll only find alligators here. They share this display space with a loggerhead turtle. I was invited to hold a baby alligator. After being warned to keep my fingers away from its mouth, the baby was passed off to me. I look a bit leery, being careful to keep my fingers back. Now I'm more relaxed. The baby seems okay with it, though it wasn't all that loving, unless not biting me was love. My wife Liz seemed right at home with the little guy. Many tourists to Louisiana want to touch alligators. Do that at your own risk. Just please don't feed them. We'll learn more about reptiles, including some that live in shells, when we return.
That's all for segment 2. We'll be back with segment 3 right after this.
Organization that's doing big-time restoration of forests and stream banks.
Hello, I'm John Lex, producer of Adventures in Education. You're watching Ramping Up Your English. This is segment 3.
This is episode 59, Reptiles. Let's learn more about reptiles from this video. You may have seen these reptiles near your home. This is a fence lizard, an insectivore that tries to blend in with its surroundings. This lizard is green and gray, the perfect camouflage for the plants and rocks where it lives. Like snakes, lizards are covered with scales, and they have backbones. In other words, they are vertebrates. This kind of lizard is called an alligator lizard. Lizards come in a variety of sizes and can live in a number of different habitats. Most lizards have the adaptation of camouflage. Their color allows them to blend into their environment. Since reptiles evolved before mammals, the human brain contains portions that are reptilian in nature. Those brain regions are called primitive and may be responsible for our fight or flight responses. It's said that reptilian psychology was used to market the sports utility vehicle and to elect and re-elect a recent Republican president. If you're observing lizards in nature, you need a great deal of patience. Lizards spend much of their time just being still. Some lizards are insectivores, others are herbivores, eating only plants. This is an iguana, a lizard that lives in Mexico. This one is at a Mesoamerican ruin. Now we look at the most popular reptile, the sea turtle. One thing I enjoy about Ramping Up Your English is sharing video and photos that I've taken. This video footage is not my work, though. We're enjoying video that I purchased from Video Blocks, a service that sells video footage and the right to share it with viewers. This video is taken underwater by videographers using scuba gear. As their name implies, sea turtles spend most of their lives in the water. They can stay submerged for great amounts of time, but they are reptiles, and they need to surface from time to time to breathe. Sea turtles differ from their landlubber cousins in several ways. The most obvious difference are their legs and feet. They have the form of flippers, allowing them to swim gracefully in the water. A sea turtle's mouth is often called a beak. Rather than teeth, this hard, sharp surface allows sea turtles to graze on the kind of vegetation that lives in the ocean. This turtle enjoys an underwater meal at a coral reef. Sea turtles can eat their food while holding their breath. They have no gills for getting oxygen directly from the water, yet they get their food while submerged. Sea turtles have flat, streamlined shells compared to land-based turtles. The advantage of this adaptation is obvious. It allows them smooth movement through the water. This comes at a price, though. Sea turtles can't pull nearly as much of their body into their shell for protection. Watch how this sea turtle turns its hard carapace toward possible danger as it passes a stingray in the water. The stingray seems preoccupied with digging itself into the seafloor, too much so to notice the passing turtle. While sea turtles spend most of their time in the water, the female must leave the comfort of this habitat in order to reproduce. While the ocean environment has its own challenges, the greatest threat to sea turtles is the loss of beach habitat, that habitat they need for laying their eggs and for the newly hatched youngsters to find their way safely to the water. Because of beach development and collection of turtle eggs, most species of sea turtles are endangered. Many conservation-minded people feel that it's important to save sea turtles. That has resulted in protection of sea turtle habitat on land and at sea. President Obama set aside a vast marine sanctuary for survival of sea turtles and other marine life in the Pacific Ocean. Some beach hotels have changed their lighting to avoid confusing turtle hatchlings on their way to the sea, and volunteers guard the turtle nest from egg collectors and land animals that would dig up the eggs and prey on the hatchlings. If new beach development can be stopped, these efforts, along with measures to reduce the severity of climate change, are likely to result in healthy scenes like this one. While we know much more about the life cycle of sea turtles than we used to, there's still a lot more to learn. Research can shed more light on the mysteries that still exist in the lives of these magnificent creatures. If we support these individuals and organizations that protect sea turtles, scenes like this one will continue to dazzle our eyes and the eyes of our children. On the Pacific island of Samoa, there's a place where sea turtles will come to the surface to hear people sing this song.
Lau mei whaiana whasua siauta Au mai se rauti lava le lau mei Lau mei whaiana whasua siauta Au mai se rauti lava le lau mei Lau mei whaiana whasua siauta Au mai se rauti lava le lau mei
Let's learn about another reptile with a shell, a tortoise.
Place for him to hang out.
Oh, so he. And
There's one over there too, you guys. There's two of them in here. You can go over there too if you want.
Mine is lost.
Hey, Shmigo, where are you going?
The skin of it feels funny.
It's worth remembering that in the fable of the tortoise and the hare, it's the steady, persistent, calm tortoise who wins the race. They can do even more than win contests with rabbits. This tortoise is teaching children about wild animals. This is an American desert tortoise, and these children are participating in a summer camp at Wildlife Images, a wildlife rehabilitation center and educational resource for children in Southern Oregon and Northern California. Dandelions are on the menu today, fed by eager hands that have spent the morning preparing appropriate food for several of the animals at Wildlife Images.
Oh, God. You can hear me, you little turtle. Or whatever you call it.
Several miles to the north, in Douglas County, campers at Wildlife Safari are having their close encounter with a California desert tortoise.
So tortoises are designed to be very, very good at digging, whereas turtles are designed to be very good at swimming. So what kind of physical adaptations would a tortoise have that a turtle wouldn't to be good at digging? Christine?
Sharp claws.
Sharp little claws, absolutely. So both of our tortoises here, they have little claws on the ends of their feet, whereas a turtle is going to have webbed footing. What do you guys think these tortoises like to eat? Grass, yeah. Do they have teeth? No, they don't have teeth. They have what's called a beak. So it's not like a bird beak, essentially, but it's kind of a sharp little edge on their face there, and they can use that when they get a big piece of vegetation. No, thank you. They can tear it apart. Really. Try again. Yeah, they're vertebrates. So all vertebrates have a spine, just like we do. So both of these tortoises, they have spines that run along their body here, and they actually connect to their shell.
This tortoise has a name, Callie, and she appeared with Leela Goulet and Julianne Rose on Adventures in Education, a program on RVTV.
Because she was part of the pet trade, and her owners actually did not understand the diet that she required. In the wild, these guys will eat lots of vegetation and drier grasses, as well as some hardier leaves and plantain. They also require a lot of calcium as well in their diet. So here, as you can see, she actually has grown a little bit of a concave shell, and that's because of her diet and her nutritional requirements. Now, the difference between a tortoise and a turtle, turtles are actually swimmers, whereas tortoises are diggers. So if you were to put her in the bottom of a pond, she would not be able to get back out of that. These guys like to dig burrows, and that's where they live underground in order to escape the heat or escape predators as well. And they'll also use their claws for digging and for laying their eggs inside of their nest.
Thanks for learning about reptiles. This ends episode 59. I want to thank George and Michael for that charming song.
I want to thank my director, Denise Ross, the RVTV staff, and my talented and loyal crew. And I want to thank you, our viewers. All of you helped to make this program an award winner. Join us next time for Ramping Up Your English. I'm John Letts.
You've been watching Ramping Up Your English, a support program for intermediate level English language learners. Learn more. Visit our website at letscreate.org. You can also watch or download today's program at archive.org/details/roadtv. Join us next time on RVTV Voices for Ramping Up Your English.